Hello again, everybody. My name is Dr. James Ong, and welcome to Prife International's weekly live stream. And the reason, as I mentioned before in the previous live stream, we have this special weekly session is so that we can string together our global community. And as we speak right now, we have, I think, more than 50 countries already. It's growing very, very, very fast, all right? And I guess by next year, we will have 100 countries as something that, our president has always spoken about. And today we have a very, very, very special guest. And the reason why we want to have this special guest is because a lot of people still do not know what to do with the Iteracare Classic or Premium that they have bought. They just don't know what to do with it. And there are so many versions out there and people talking about different things. So let us welcome and our Iteracare Advisor, Mr. Soma. So Mr. Soma, and you have to unmute. How are you today?
Yeah, good evening, Dr. James. I'm good. Hope you are good too.
Yes, I'm in excellent health, and that's already
Super.
a blessing. I always mention this in the past also that why I love this Iteracare is because no problem is too small. I mean, for a person who cannot bend down to tie the shoelace, for a person who have a slight ache here and there, it's a huge thing, so to get rid of that problem is something that we have seen over and over again, and especially for you do a lot of product seminars everywhere, and you travel extensively, so you have probably met up with more people in pain and problem who have asked for your consultation. Now, Mr. Soma, the very first question, right? Let's say I'm a buyer of this magic wand, as some people call it in America and Europe. What should I do with it? I mean, maybe someone who sold it to me over how should I say, over claim and make my expectation like very high, and let's assume that maybe I have a physical problem and illness, and what is the first basic thing that I should do? Please enlighten us.
Yeah, first, thank you, Dr. James. Now, first of all, as you said, it is truly magic. It's truly unbelievable where Iteracare and the three devices have gone to, and how it has taken the world by storm. If you look around you, it's just unbelievable, because there are lots of people with all kinds of problems, right? And they need the help. They are looking for something to help them, and they have tried all sorts of things. And when they get a hold of this device and they start using them, it's just, as you said, truly magic, all right? But there's science behind that. Now, let's come back to the question you asked just now. When you first get hold of the Iteracare device, what do you do? Now, first, basically, when you are getting hold of the device, most of the people who get hold of the device, they have some ailment or other, all right? They have a problem where they have been seeking for so much help, but unfortunately, they are not able to get that help. And through recommendations, they would have got hold of that device. Now, first of all, if you have a problem, look at your problem. What exactly is the problem? Look at the underlying reason for that problem, and you can trace it back to where the problem is. And the second thing is, now, basically, if you're looking for general maintenance, you can look at three areas. The first one are the chakra points. The second area, you might want to look at your lymph nodes, specific lymph nodes. And then you might want to also look at your meridian points. Now, basically, what they're doing is the chakra points is taking care of your body field, balancing your energy in the body. The second one, the lymph nodes, they're getting rid of the toxins and waste so that you can recover better. And when you use this device, it works better. And when you focus on the meridian points, you're actually activating lots of organs which are supposed to work holistically. That means you don't look at one part where one part is getting well, and the other parts are not getting well. Then they're also going to bog you down. So when you look at it wholesomely, then everything is getting better. Then you find that you are definitely going to be much better as a whole, right? So now, then once you have done this, and then you get to your problem areas where you need more help, and you work on them, you are definitely going to find that they are going to get better much faster. And doctor, if you don't mind me just adding on a little bit.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I have never used the word cure, treatment, physio, and the likes, because this device is retailed and registered as a hot air blower, and it is also not registered as a medical device.
Or
So
therapeutic, or yeah.
yes, as a therapeutic or physiotherapy device, because it makes it available to a lot more people around the world. Practically everybody can use that. The only problem is now nobody can make big claims, right? That it cures that, cures this, and all the things which come with it. All right, because there are laws in all the countries, in every country.
Honestly, that's why
Yeah.
we have this live stream, because during this live stream, when I'm interviewing the customer or patient or whatever you want to call it, the person who bought the device, and if that person will narrate or tell her story or his story, that's okay,
Yes, that's definitely fine. That's okay. Because it's your own life story. But when somebody else makes that claim, then you you may run afoul of the law, right? Run foul of the law.
Yeah.
So just be careful of the claims, because this device again is registered as a hot air blower, and it is not registered as a medical device. All right?
Perhaps, Mr. Soma,
Yeah.
on the safer side of the law, I guess, if you want to make a claim, is to understand that we are talking about energy, and our body is made of molecules and atoms, which, if you go deeper into the subatomic particle of what we are made of, the quarks and the leptons, and in 2012, basically, they have actually found that we are actually an energy field. They call it a Higgs boson. And this energy field is where all particles get their mass. So if you hone in on what we are just energy field, all right? So if we accept that, scientific argument, then when our organs, our cells are in trouble, it's basically our energy, is getting lower. So if we fix our energy, and that's where the Iteracare comes in. I mean, the terahertz frequency, and it goes into our body, we drink the water, and then our energy gets higher, right? And then when that happens, wow, miracle happens, right? So we are not saying that this is curing this is curing that, no, we're not saying that. But the
that is what's happening.
Yeah, correct. So what we're doing is basically enhancing, right? Increasing, enhancing our energy, which is in our body, all right? So by so doing, a lot of things disappear. Right? Again, without making the cure claim. Okay. So from your experience, I think you have seen a lot, you travel a lot, and different people have different kind of ailments, right? So everyone is expecting a quick fix. Am I right? When maybe they've been overpromised, or maybe the person who sold the device has probably said, hey, it's going to cure you or whatever, right? So the person who gets the magic wand is like, oh, woohoo, like, so you go ahead. I think the message, Mr. Soma, would you tell people to be patient? I think that's what I'm trying to say.
First, going back on what you mentioned, just an analogy about energy. No, a good analogy will be the water. When it has got more energy, it is going to be steam, moist steam.
Yep.
And when it's less energy, it's going to be ice. It's the same water, but in different forms. So similarly, we are all energy. It's just that how it is messed up and composed, right? So now, what do you call that? Coming back to what we were talking about just now, you're mentioning. Sorry, can you repeat that question again, if you don't mind?
Well, the basic question that everyone is saying is, how can it fix my problem? But the thing is, everyone has a different problem. Am I right? And I always believe that we have a specific organ or somewhere in our body which has a problem, but do not forget that everything is in totality. It cannot be sort of like isolated and it's only my liver problem and my gallbladder problem and my prostate problem, and you forget about the totality. Because I like to look at things, when you blow, don't forget to blow the whole body, right? Even our skin is the largest organ on our body. Just blow. And of course, we give you guidance with all the traditional Chinese acupuncture points, as you may call them. And these are points which has been practiced for thousands of years, all right? Even before the Western science or Western medicine came into being. So there must be something good about all these things. Am I right, Mr. Soma? You talk about the chakra, you talk about the meridian points, you talk about your lymph nodes. I mean, these are all vital. If you cannot detox your body, how can you heal it? Am I right? So you got to talk about your lymphatic system. So there are certain points that you need to spend time on. So you cannot just get the one and blow it on the affected area and forget about the rest. It won't work that way. Yeah, perhaps you would like to elaborate from your experience.
Now let's look at another analogy. Now you have a plate. You have taken your dinner the previous night, and you put it on the table without washing it. And the next day, you're going to use the same plate without washing and have your meal. So whatever is there is now going to mix with whatever is new on the plate now, and it's going to give you more problems. Now, if you wash the plate and then you have the food, then it's definitely going to be better for you. So similarly, in your body, there are lots of toxins and waste material inside your body. That has got to be removed so that better, what shall I say, recovery can be got, right? So when you work on your lymph nodes, you're definitely helping to clear that area. And when you use this device, then it's definitely going to work much better on you. But unfortunately, lots of people do not have the time for themselves, because you have to spend a little bit of time.
I know. That's something that I like to pause here. And people expect miracle, and yet they don't, sacrifice their time to get ready to really prepare themselves. There are many versions that I've seen on Facebook, on YouTube, of people trying to tell people to do whatever things, right? And I think fundamentally, you just have to prepare yourself and give yourself more time, and not just rush into it. Because if you are not relaxed and you're doing it like just for the sake of it, it may not work, all right? Or it works, but it doesn't work so well, okay? If you do it with love, with tenderness, with tender loving care, and I like what Mr. Soma said in one of his videos, where he said, a mother's cooking always tastes better. Because why? A mother's cooking has love, So energy, for those of you who have, because I've been involved in energy, and I understand that, sometimes when you're new to energy, you may not understand why energy actually can communicate with us. Because if you look at the science of the universe, we all came from energy, all right? Whether you are someone who believes in the Big Bang or whatever it is, but the science is, pointing towards the idea that 13.8 billion years ago, we all came from the Big Bang, all right? And then the Big Bang, it became very hot and there were no particles formed. And then when it cooled down, all, within seconds. We started having particles like hydrogen, helium, and so on, the gases. And then as we went on a few 100,000 years later, then we have, bigger particles being formed. And then we have the stars and the galaxies and, supernova and, things like that. So there is a saying that those of you who wear gold, a star must have exploded before the gold gets deposited in planet Earth, right? So when you're wearing gold, it's actually a star having exploded. Having said that, so if you look at all the particles that came from there, we are made of particles. So we came from stardust, right? So people say we came from the stars. And if you look at the energy, as I said, all these molecules and particles that we are made of, they are just energy. So our energy is connected everywhere. Not trying to be too far-fetched here, so because some of you will be like eyes rolling, what's this guy talking about, right? But the thing is this, there are many experiments, and you can Google this, and you can read about Masaru Emoto. Okay, Masaru Emoto. Interestingly, I'm not sharing his video on YouTube because there could be some copyright issues. But essentially, what he did was this, and he wrote a New York Times bestseller, the late Masaru Emoto. All right, he said good things and bad things to the water and then crystallized them. And when he said good things to the water and crystallized them, it looks good. The design and everything, woo, it looks really fantastic. And if he says bad things to the water and crystallizes it, well, it looks terrible. Okay, it looks ugly. And then he went on further on. A few years later, he made a very interesting. You can watch it on YouTube. All right. This rice he puts in water in 3 different containers, and then he say good things to the first one. He say not so good to the second one, right? I don't want to repeat what he said. Actually, not so good. The third one, he was indifferent. That means he just snubbed it, indifferent. All right. Within a month, the first one was so. He repeat this every day. Okay. Within a month, that first one, the rice was fragrant. Everything was beautiful. All right. It didn't go bad. But the second and the third one, they all went really, really awry looking and, really bad. So what does it tell us? How we treat the water, how we treat things, somehow they know, right? And, when I first saw this, I told myself, wow, I got to show gratitude. I got to show love. When you blow someone, you blow with love, and the aura is going to be fantastic. The treatment is going to be fantastic. You know what I mean? So whether you believe it or not, but that's energy. That's the energy world. And the amazing thing is when you show it with love, somehow, right? Mr. Soma, I'm sure you have seen it many times, right?
Yeah.
Blow, and you really, really care. You really, really want to help the person. Wow, the result is just amazing. Okay, Mr. Soma.
You should have a love for yourself too. When you blow, some of them, I've seen some people blow because for the sake of blowing.
Yeah.
Now let your body have some love yourself. Tell your body, okay, please heal. Whatever sickness there is, please go away. Let me live healthily. The body listens.
Absolutely. That's what I'm trying to. Yeah. I am trying to explain this point, Mr. Soma, without people thinking, what is this guy trying to tell? But I've been in the energy world, and in the previous one that I belong to, we have close to 1 million members, and this thing works. All right. So the thing is this: we are using terahertz frequency to increase your frequency in your body, and a lot of miraculous things are happening across the world right now. Within our company, all the customers that bought this device, they are experiencing tremendous things. All right. So it's not just blowing on your body, but they blow on the water.
Yeah.
Okay. So 60 to 70% of our body is what?
Water.
Now, if you blow on and by the way, our new product is going to come out very soon, and I think it's going to blow everyone away. So when you combine that water and Iteracare, right? Terahertz blowing on the water just for 1 minute. Wow, I think the energy in that water when you drink it is going to go into your body. And when it goes into your body with energy, guess what it's going to do to your cells? It's amazing. All right. Yeah. So Mr. Soma, I mean, from your experience, apart from humans, right? Now let's talk about pets. I mean, we have a lot of people, they love their pets. Have you seen any amazing result on pets?
Definitely. Even my daughter has got 2 dogs with her. So we were experimenting in the initial stages. But now if you look at them, their fur is thicker.
Looks good.
Looks shiny and good, and they look very healthy. You can see that they are looking so much better than before.
Yeah.
And we are giving the charged water for them to drink, and sometimes even blow on them. And it's definitely changing things. It's changed, in fact. All right, they're looking better.
Amazing.
And even plants, for that matter.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
If you charge the water and use that water for the plants are growing much better. Very healthy.
Well, it's so nice to know that, I'm sure a lot of plant lovers out there, sometimes, because of the climate, because of, many other reasons, our plant is sort of like dying, it's like withering and we just don't know what to do. And then there are many instances. I've also joined, again, Facebook group all over, and I've seen that just blowing on the water and then just pour it onto the plant miraculously, right? And starts to not only look healthy, but starts to flower again. It's like, whoa. So
if I may share, Doctor.
Yeah, sure.
Since we're talking about plants, now this is one story from back home. I have a friend who is florist. So he does his garlands for marriages, and people come and buy his flowers. And what happened was, when I introduced this to him and told him, you should try on your flowers and your garlands, see what happens. And after about a month, he calls me and he says, do you know what happened? People are coming and telling me that your garland is lasting much longer than the rest of the garlands I bought before. Wow. The rest of them last 3 days. Yours is lasting at least 5 days. And your flowers are also lasting longer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess if you wash them with
spray them. Just spray them.
Even before you put it into the fridge, maybe it will last longer too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, that's amazing. Nice to hear that, Mr. Soma. Now, moving from pets to plants and everything, tell us, there is a new model now, right? There's a new model. So a lot of people also ask this question, like, should I use low heat? Should I use high heat? I mean, or those who can afford the Pro, it has even the normal coal, blower. So please tell us more about what kind of heat for what situation that has to be, applied.
I will talk about the heat first of all before talking on the new model. Now, first of all, the heat. See, when you use heat, basically it is improving your circulation. It is making your tissues more receptive to whatever you're going to do after that. Now, you see, if you take an athlete, before he starts his training or his event, he's going on a warm-up. So he warms his body up because now he can do whatever he's doing better. Similarly, the heat helps the person to prepare his body to receive the terahertz energy, and it works better because now the circulation is improved and it's the tissues they are more elastic and they are easily more receptive, right? So that's the heat aspect. And there are switches where if you look at the Iteracare Classic, it has got 3 switches. the low, the medium, and the high. Now, generally, most people, they prefer to use the medium. Generally, most people use that. So if you look at the Iteracare Classic, the first switch is the medium. It makes it easy for them to use. Now, generally, the whole body, you can use that. But when you come to the face, basically the skin there is a little bit more tender, and the eyes there, okay? So you want to use the low switch, low heat switch. So then you're blowing onto your face. Then again, adjust the distance where you're comfortable to it. You wouldn't want too much heat getting into your eyes. So there should be a safe distance where there's not too much heat, but you get the feel of it. And then you come to the third switch, where it is higher, much higher, much hotter. Now what's happening is that your lower extremities, especially from your waist down, the skin is a little bit thicker, and some people prefer it to be a bit hotter. And then if you come to the cold climates, in cold climates, sometimes the medium heat, it may not be enough, because by the time it reaches your body, it's not as hot. So they prefer to use the higher end, the high heat, right? So these are basically the heat levels. And then when you compare the classic, and now we have the premium and the pro. Now the classic is very, very, you see, when you come to families, lots of families, they have the elderlies with them, the parents and extended family, and most of them are aged. So the Iteracare Classic is light, easily held, and they can work on themselves without any help. See, most of the children are out for work, and they can get it done by themselves. When you come to the Pro, it is a little bit more heavier and bigger, and you might not want to hold it for too long, because it's a little bit heavier, especially for the aged. So it's better suited for treatment centers, where people are actually coming to get treatment using these devices. And another aspect of that is that you can use it for longer hours without stopping. Whereas the Iteracare Classic, you might want to stop after using it continuously for maybe 60 minutes. Then it has a cutoff switch there, where it may cut off, and then once it's cooled, you can use it again. And now, presently, in the last 3 weeks, the company has introduced another model, the premium. And the premium is in between the what do you call that, the classic and the pro. It also packs lots of power, and it's also small and can easily be handheld. Right?
And it's lightweight as well.
Yes, lightweight, smaller, and upgraded version. The Moto is an upgraded version, and you can see that the power is slightly more than the Iteracare Classic. So lots of people are also loving that premium, and lots of people are now going for that.
Okay, so it is, I guess, something for everyone, right? It's up to the budget, it's up to the taste, it's also up to, well, what level of frequency, in terms of, that you want. So basically, a lot of us, we come from different situations. Some people, they just want to buy the basic and try. If it works, then I'll upgrade. Well, that's fine. You're totally welcome to do that. Now, some people, Mr. Soma, they think, right? If I go nearer to my skin, it's gonna go deeper inside and to the bone. I mean, some people think that way, right? So I guess if you want to take it further, then it may not work. Some people may think that way. But I guess if you go nearer and using the classic, then it's better to wear a shirt or something so that it doesn't burn your skin, right? You don't go too near. Now, what are your thoughts on that?
Now, the basic principle is that you keep it at a distance where you're comfortable. Some people like a little bit more heat. Some people do not like the heat. They have more tender skin. They're sensitive to it. So just adjust the distance to a distance where you're comfortable with it, whether you're wearing clothes or you're not wearing them. For some people, they find that they feel it's better without the clothes on, although it still penetrates clothes and you're still getting the effect, But the tendency for people is that without the clothes they feel better. So the adjustment is important, where you hold it at a distance where you're comfortable without it being too hot. And the heat is there to help with your circulation. But the important thing there is the terahertz energy should be getting into you. Now, the basic distance, the amount of penetration we can get from these devices is about 20 to 30 centimeters easily. It's basically saying if you're using it in the front, it comes out at the back. So it's a long way in. And so you needn't worry too much about
So
it
you
being
don't have to
too
get
far.
paranoid and
Yes,
almost
exactly.
touching your skin. You don't have to do that.
No,
Right? Yeah,
no,
that's the point that I
actually,
want to make here.
right,
Now,
correct.
some people, they have healing crisis. What would be your advice to those people with healing crisis?
Yeah, when it comes to alternative medicine, especially, you have something called a healing crisis. Now, what happens is the body has been collecting lots and lots of things which it is unable to
To get,
clear,
yeah,
to get rid of, right? So it's been collected over time, and you haven't found a method where it can actually come out. Basically, you're saying that you do not know how to activate your cells where the cells can clear them. So when you start using this terahertz energy, and especially with the iteracarebizz terahertz energy, what's happening is you're activating the cells, and the cells are getting rid of all the unwanted material, weight toxins and waste which you have been collecting over the years. And that's what you call as disease. And when it starts clearing, that is where you find that your readings may go haywire, right? They may
yeah,
go topsy-turvy, they may go higher, they may go lower. And that is when people get scared. And people have complained. When I use this device, instead of getting better, I'm
yeah.
getting worse.
They panic.
Actually, what's yes, they panic. And then they put it aside, and they're even afraid to inform the person who recommended, because they do not want to hurt him. So then it's wasted, it's just left aside. So now basically the person who's actually recommending these devices to anybody, especially to people who have more chronic illnesses, because they are going to find more of this healing crisis, they should be informing them that there is something called a healing crisis, and you should be prepared for it, that this will happen.
Yeah.
And if it happens, don't panic.
Yeah.
You will just pass it over.
Would it help? I mean, if they are experiencing healing crisis, to maybe half the duration of the time that they normally would use, or not so heavy on it. Yeah.
Basically, when people ask me this question, I tell them that there are three ways you can look at it. Now, the first one, of course, if you are really afraid, please stop. That's it. Now, the second one is you slow down. It takes a little bit longer for you to see the effects. The third one is, if you're the kind who is strong, just bear with it, and you'll clear that healing crisis much faster, and then you're going to enjoy it. So this probably could be the way how people can look at it.
Yeah. So I've asked some very difficult questions our Iteracare advisor, and the reason why I ask these questions is so that people know.
Yes, exactly.
We don't want you to have any doubt or anything, in your mind while you are using the device, because we truly believe, you and I, that this is an amazing device, right? It's done a lot of good for a lot of people. Blow with love and positive, thoughts.
Yes.
And don't rush it,
Correct.
Have the time, go through it slowly, relax, and things will definitely get better. And give yourself some time. All right. I mean, you've been watching video that 15 minutes this person can get out of wheelchair and walk, and you think, 15 minutes is gonna be the same for you. Please give yourself some time. That's what I'm saying.
No two people are the same.
Yeah. So, Mr. Soma, thank you so much for coming to our live stream and sharing all this wonderful information, because I do know there are a lot of people out there, they just don't know what to do, right? So this kind of sharing is definitely very helpful, and in future sometime, I'm going to bring you back on again. All right. So
Sure, no problem.
thank you so much. And yeah, before we end this, you know, a lot of people, when they benefited from our product, they dance, right? But I want to share this video to close this live stream. And I don't know about which country you come from and how you dance, but I really love this video when I saw it. It's in Africa, right? It's in Africa and it's in Kenya. And I just resonate totally. I fell in love with it. And I just want to show the whole world, all our Prife International community. Like I said, no pain is too small, all right? Look at this wonderful lady, all right? Just look at this wonderful lady. I'm just going to share this. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Okay, it's truly amazing. All right. All right, let me play it. As you can see, she had difficulty walking when she went in, and when she came out. This is how you dance. Mr. Soma,
Super.
doesn't it make it all worthwhile?
Truly.
All our efforts spreading all this beautiful product to everywhere in the world. When you see a video like that, I mean, how do you feel? Amazing.
It makes you happy.
It makes you so
feel
happy.
blessed.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Soma. And those of you who haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe, and follow our Facebook so that you'll be notified. And please share the good news, because someone out there could be waiting for you to share, because that person may have a problem and just don't know what to do. So thank you, and a wonderful day, and a very good evening from both of us, me and Mr. Soma in Malaysia. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Medical disclaimers. Itera Classic and Itera Pro are not medical devices. The information provided on our website is for educational purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Please consult a medical professional or healthcare provider if you are seeking medical advice, diagnoses, or treatment. Prife International shall not be liable for risks or issues associated with using or acting upon the information on our website. Prife International shall not be liable or responsible for the actions, misrepresentations, or negligence of our members who are independent contractors.